Right, here we go. That's me. I'm Brian McLaren, Development Officer at the Consularium, and in true PowerPoint fashion, I'm going to read the slide that you can quite clearly see in front of you, just till I get the hang of this again. I've been seconded, my substantive post is that of a deputy head from a primary school. And the main point of today's presentation, Derek has asked me, is as a source for a new me. I am on a 15-month secondment, which runs out in December. Would anybody like my job? It will be going, as I will. What I want to do today is to show you some of the things that I do, the projects I support, the schools that I work with. You'll meet some of the people that are doing some fantastic work in Scottish schools. You'll also see my younger son. In a moment of panic, one of the projects I'm supporting is a Sony iPad transition project. But if you work in a nursery school or a primary school, you'll know that now is not the time for transition quite yet. So you'll see my wee boy playing with iPad, which is great. So if Carlsberg made jobs, they would seriously make mine. On my first day, well, I'll save my first day story, because what I read, I think it was way back in 2007, John Connell's blog. If we can get there, described what Derek did as the best job in the world. Would you like to turn and face the camera? Oh, anyway. So I thought, oh, that looks like a jolly job.
That was in a street in Orchard Road, Singapore.
And there are other links at the bottom, but you know what? I'm just going to skip nimbly through them. I did some work with Derek. I'm not going to read you through this. I did some work with Derek in my primary school with a Professor Layton topic. Spoke about that at handheld learning. And as I was on the website to see if Derek had written it up yet, I noticed there were these kinds of words, which basically said there will be a job coming up. I just thought back to young ladies, Santa outfits, Xboxes, PS3s, so I applied. Now, CCTV footage of my interview.
Gives a job. Go on. Gives it. Go ahead. A job? Yeah, gives it. Go on. I know you've got one. Arthur told me. Go on, gives it. Now. Today. Well, what about... Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, two, right, yeah. I'm ready.
Yours wasn't as forceful as I was when I wanted the job. I wasn't really terribly sure what to expect, really, so Derek explained.
I'm going to be a busy person, aren't I? How do I get to ride my pony? This afternoon, about 4 o'clock.
More CCTV footage. What it actually says is, I'm going to be a busy person, aren't I? When do I get to ride my pony? 4 o'clock, apparently, so we're moving rapidly on. There's actually so much more than my job. I intrinsically understand that the job is not just about the excitement of the first day when Derek told me I would need a PlayStation 3, a PS2, an Xbox, a DS, a DSi, a laptop, a computer, a barrage of games, and take them away and play them. That's not what my job's about at all. My job's about these kind of things with children in the middle. What you're seeing around there is, as Ollie said earlier, Scotland has a new curriculum, 3 to 18. Explicitly stated the capacities, explicitly stated entitlements for all of our children. So my job is to take these commercially available games and make them relevant to our education system. And that's what I do. I've got 17 years teaching background, I've got management experience. I'm not a gamer. I do like games, I absolutely do, but I spend much more time now playing games thinking, how can I use this? Rather than, wow, I'm having a great, with the exception of Heavy Rain, which I am enjoying. We have, in Dundee, not going to use that in school, by the way, if you have played. I think the central concept may be slightly difficult to sell to parent councils and school boards and stuff. This is us in Dundee, and this is our large consolarium cupboard, which we genuinely do have in the office, a massive cupboard along the side of the walls that swoops open to an Aladdin's cave of fantastic stuff. What I'm going Derek showed a map yesterday, if you saw him, with some of the work that was going on in the consolarium. This is just the work that I'm involved in. There are 5 of us in the team, but this is me. So, well, that's us, actually. So, out of the consolarium cupboard, we've got some big projects going on with Wild Earth African Safari, from Thurso down to central Scotland. Mario Kart, one of our big news. If you have a look in our blog, there's competitions around Scotland. Lots of Sony iPet going across Aberdeenshire with Anna and Argyll and Butte. We've got 2 DIY. We've purchased site licenses and did some training down at the Stirling Management Centre. And some of the other projects we've done includes Manga High that we've done with 9 schools in Glasgow, 1 in Edinburgh. I think that you don't necessarily need to be hearing my voice. What you need to be hearing is the voice of the people who are actually using this. So if you can indulge me a little bit. I hope the sound's okay in this one.
Hi there, I'm Mr. Tate. I've got a little bit quiet in my class. First and second years enjoy it, third years enjoy it. Couldn't get many third year girls to get onto it. But then once we got the boys not to take over, third year girls enjoyed it.
It really was pretty
One of the
loud
best
when I
things
did
is
it.
how you can have 3.
Can I turn this microphone down onto my speakers, see if that helps?
1, 2.
That's a shame. That's at Scott's Nick, if you follow Twitter. Hang on, let me just check that I'm good to go down here. My speakers are up. I can tell you how many times I practiced this and it worked beautifully. Isn't PowerPoint wonderful? Let's try again.
Hi there, I'm Mr. Tate. Class first.
No joy. Is that because it's a PC? What he's describing is work going on in his S1 class with Little Big Planet. And he's making some brilliant points. You should really hear him. He's fantastic. He's a secondary technical teacher. That's really disappointing. Why is that? Yours did the same, didn't it? Oh, there's some. Do you like the GarageBand soundtrack? I think it says something about me, don't you think? But like someone was saying yesterday, that step away, that was the land of me, to step away from the computer and into other work that's driving. I hope Ian's works now. He says it's great. No. There he is.
A small class of intermediate to information system pupils, and we've been looking at Little Big Planet on the PlayStation 3 for about 7 months now, and in that time I've been using the game and the console as a stimulus for their applied multimedia unit practical work. What kind of things
No. What he was saying is using Little Big Planet over the last 7 months for part of the higher advanced multimedia. But he's tied it with a link to a local primary school, Marketplace Primary School, where the primary ones are providing the design brief for the senior pupils to design and build a level in Little Big Planet based on roasting hot porridge. Do you recognise it? Don't all shout at once. There's some hot porridge, there's some cold porridge, and there's some porridge that's just right. And then there are chairs that are too big, too small, and just right, and then there are beds. So these senior pupils are building then a level based on obviously Goldilocks. Right, did you get that? Yeah, cool. Which is a real shame that you can't hear him, because they did some fantastic work with that, and we're going to go back up and see as the senior pupils take the level back. We'll just scamper past that. One of the other ongoing projects that we have is with Manga High. We put that into a short-term trial with 9 schools and 9 schools in Glasgow, 1 in Edinburgh. And we got the results of that back a couple of weeks ago, so we're in the early stages of that, but it seemed a pretty positive project and something we'll be reporting on, I think in January, Brian, isn't it? June, sorry. So you'll see some of the results there coming back out of Manga High, which we're quite pleased about. If any of you have played that, it kind of sits in the kind of mini clip kind of version. There are lots of games where the maths is intrinsic to the game as opposed to a reward. So interesting stuff there. An increase of 18% was found on that. Down to primary school now. It's a Wild Earth African Safari. What you're looking at here is a primary school class in Alabama, in central Scotland, where obviously the classroom's been turned into the savannah and that kind of whole idea of the contextual hub. But this is also going on in the very far north of Scotland, in that, well, you saw the route that we were taking down there, so we cut together some pictures of how that looks.
What do you think of using games in the class?
I think games are an excellent thing.
This is one of the parents being involved.
A lot. By the use of games and the use of play.
Do you think it helps learning?
Yes. Particularly if it's a game you enjoy.
Yeah. What did you enjoy about the afternoon?
I enjoyed the colourfulness of the project. I enjoyed the variety.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed all the different dimensions of work that our pupils have to do. It's exciting. Did you enjoy it?
Yes. Do you think every classroom should have a Wii?
Yes, of course.
Do you think every classroom should have a Wii? Yeah, and this is the culmination of the topic. We've invited the parents in to share the learning. Like a bit of work and a bit of fun, which is kind of like my work, only without the work. iPad and the Sony PS3, if you haven't seen this at all, it's a fantastic piece of gear. We're using it as transition topics, but in the 3 to 18 curriculum is the work that these children will be doing at 4 years old, 3 and 4 years old, transferring all the way through into their primary years. So they're going to be adopting a pet. That's clearly my wee fella. Completely engrossed and engaged, and if you can see his eyes carefully flick, what's happening is there's text coming along the screen, the top of the screen. So it's driving him to read for purpose. It's what's the instruction, what does it want me to do? It's such an engaging game.
Jumping around, it's probably a good idea to scan your pet. See how he's doing.
Biology lessons. Watch this. Look at that. Can you hear him read? Did you hear him read those words in? counting along here in our little groups watching iPad. We should be going. It has to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh! And what did they have to get? He had to get 10, and he only got 6. So how many more would they have needed? At the 2D shape, see how that's flat? Watch it. And that's my drawing. And as we go back to, you'll see in just a wee second, I've been channeling Tony Hart. Here I am. Because what iPad will do is he will copy whatever you write. He will copy words, he will copy shapes, he will change them into things. The learning opportunities that you've got are boundless. You can do whatever you like. Watch it. Astounding. The teacher in me says, then we're going to go and get some paper, and we're going to make paper aeroplanes, and then we're going to make junk planes, and then we're going to... And then you can fly them right off your living room floor. Or your nursery floor. It's stunning. We've got some of the work that's going on at the moment is in Cathkin Community Nursery, just outside Glasgow. The lady is called Andrea Reid, who's the QIO, the Quality Improvement Officer, who's been driving quite a bit of this work, and a fantastic head teacher in a fantastic nursery. And you'll see Ewan McIntosh yesterday linked, it was her blog that he linked to. I've been working with Andrea over the last 4 or 5 months. This is actually inside a real nursery that does birth to 5. It's a little glimpse at how they're planning and how the work they do involves the whole community. The parents are genuinely involved in the planning, the children are genuinely involved in the planning. We'll be going out to do some case study work with them, and HMIE, Majesty's Inspectors of Education in Scotland, have just left, leaving very, very positive works behind them, and that was the link that you saw back to Andrea's blog. Again, someone else said yesterday, Gillian, she said yesterday, you can sell this really quite easily. At its very lowest level, you'll get engagement. But Gillian spoke yesterday about nothing we're doing here is frivolous. It all has theoretical background. It all, we can show impact in every school, in every class that's used it with a teacher at the centre and used it as learning tool, then we can show impact there. And it's, Anna was sitting at the table saying, okay, so lots of the evidence we've got is anecdotal. How much evidence do we have to show of a new reading scheme that we buy? And she's absolutely right. For the same £300 as I can buy some hardware to put into one of my classes, I can equip them with a class set of dictionaries. What's going to give me more impact? I know what's going to give me and my teachers in my school more impact, but every decision will be there. We also share everything that we do through our National Schools intranet within Scotland, but we also have the blog that you've seen earlier. So I'll just kind of skip nimbly through this. You'll be aware of some of the things that we do. So we administrate this, and we encourage teachers to, if they make plans, by all means take ours. But I would explain that to every school that we go to, I have a plan, you're welcome to it, and I've written it, but I don't know your children. I don't know what your children need. You know your children, so you take that, use my plan as a basis if you want, but you always, always, always have to keep the child at the centre. So you can see, you'll be aware of that. We also have an outward-facing blog. There'll be hopefully lots more outward-facing stuff coming, because there's clearly a really big audience for being involved, and we beg, borrow and steal stuff from all over the place as well. So that's us. I showed you Wild Earth African Safari, I showed you iPet briefly, I showed you Little Big Planet, and I showed you Manga High. That's just 4 we've got. These are some of our bigger projects. We've also got this stuff ongoing in schools as well. Some of the things that you've seen are hardly old hat, but you will have experience of them before. And we're always, always, always looking for new stuff on the way out. I particularly want to think, in terms of the beg, borrow and steal, some of the people that you'll see here, I would urge you to go and read their blogs. This lady is Andrea Reid, QIO in South Lanarkshire. Her blog's called Interim Reports. It's very, very worth a follow. It's the personal views of a quality improvement officer, and that's where you'll see, you know, she's picking up stuff from tweets from yesterday. A very, very astute lady. There's the HMI visit that Ewan picked up yesterday. I would urge you to go and have a read of hers. Really, really interesting. And the other fellows that you saw, a chap called Nick Tate, who's a technical teacher, at Scotch Nick on Twitter. Passionate about learning, passionate about outdoor learning, as well as the games-based stuff. A really, really interesting mix of stuff coming through his blogs. I would urge you to go and have a read of his as well. Lots of really good stuff there. And the final one, Ian Simpson, at Family Simpson on Twitter. He was the young teacher that you saw dealing with the primary ones and the secondary schools. But as I said, I'm finished in December. Does anybody want it? Seriously. All you need to do is move to Scotland, get a GTC registration, ensure that your degree's up to date, and then you have to work out at Dundee. But other than that, the job's yours. I hope you got a little flavour of the kind of things that we're doing. So that's me, I'm done. If you want it, you can come and speak to me. I'm accepting bribes. Thank you.